Hello besties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Nomi, and in today's video we are going to be reading some more Reddit stories. We are going to be reading 2 to 3 Reddit stories. It kind of just depends on my mood. And not only that, but how long these stories are, because babe, sometimes they overfill us with details, sometimes they deprive us of details. But usually I always get us a little bit of an overflow of details. We need to know what's going on. How are we going to assess the situation if you're not giving us enough information? With that being said, go ahead and like this video before you get started, because you already know that you're going to love it. And I don't want you to forget at the end. Also, while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can be notified the next time that I upload and the next time we get into some more juicy Reddit stories. Because babe, sometimes you can't just depend on the tea to come to you in video format. Sometimes you gotta read it. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. The title of this story is "My husband skipped his back surgery and now I want a divorce." So for context, my husband 41 and I 40 have both had back injuries. I went to physical therapy for my several injuries and got better. I worked my body back from pregnancies and now I am a bodybuilder. My husband, on the other hand, spent the last 20 years avoiding work. And you were still... Okay, hold on. We're gonna keep reading the story. I'm gonna save my commentary for a little bit later. "I can't mow the lawn. I might hurt my back. Even though you're pregnant, you have to do it because you're smaller than me and you won't get hurt as easily." She puts this emoji in between. Also, another quote that he said: "I can't help with the kids. I might hurt my back. I can't clean the garage. I might hurt my back." Those are some of the things he would say almost daily. I did hurt my back doing those things. As a 4'11" woman, god dang, 4'11", baby, 4'11". Oh my gosh. I feel sorry for you. Y'all know I'm almost 6 feet tall. And this dude is well over 6 feet. He's 6'3". And you got a 4'11" woman out there doing stuff that you should be doing. I said I was going to save my commentary for a little bit later. He always put much more burden on me than he was willing to take on himself. Fast forward to last year, his discs start breaking down and he has constant pain. So then he helps even less than before, as if that was a thing. Around the same time my back was injured from doing the things that had to be done that he never tried to help with, we both signed up for physical therapy. I went every week and did the workouts at home. He went once and gave up. My back got better, his didn't. I've lost 20 pounds and turned my body into solid muscle. My 18-year-old bodybuilding son became my coach. I've always loved fitness, but after my twins were born 6 years ago, it was hard for me to find time to work out effectively, especially with my husband not wanting to be active and taking care of the twins. You're breastfeeding and they only want you, so I can't help you. Ugh. His back got worse and worse to the point where he couldn't bend over at all. We consulted a surgeon and his surgery was supposed to be 2 days ago. As they were prepping him for surgery, he decided he didn't want it and walked out. Okay. He claims he's not in as much pain and that for the next year or two, he has to keep doing what I've been doing, which means not helping with kids or house at all, and that somehow is going to make him better. He's also not willing to join the gym or go to physical therapy. It seems like he really just wants to use it as an excuse, and I'm so over it. I'm already doing everything myself. Why should I be carrying around his dead weight too? Yesterday I was showing off my progress wearing pants 2 sizes smaller than last year and muscle definition in my whole body while I was excitedly bouncing around in my smaller clothes. He asked if I was drunk and told me I looked silly. I told him I don't really care what he thinks anymore. Not gonna let him put me down and mock me for working on myself while he sits on his behind doing nothing. Okay, y'all. As y'all have heard, that was a doozy. This dude is a complete bum. He is completely useless. All he's good for is sperm donation, apparently, because she just had twins 6 years ago. And I'm sure at that same time, because remember, this all started when he was 21 and she was 20. At that time, he was still being a bum, not helping around the house, not doing any of the things that need to be done because, oh, I might hurt my back. But you're a 6'3" grown man. She's a 4'11" woman. But also got to put some onus on her because, ma'am, you're dumb. I'm sure by the time you were 25 to 30, you realized that this was a mistake. I'm sure you realized it by then, because I can't imagine what kind of woman gets her frontal lobe developed, because your frontal lobe doesn't fully develop until you're from the age of 25 on up. I don't know how around at least by the age of 30 that you didn't realize that you f***ed up by getting with this lazy bum. So I still gotta put onus on you, ma'am, because at the end of the day, clearly you got more sense than him, you got more willpower than him, you have more drive than him. He lacks motivation overall. He is a bum. He's content with being a bum. All he's good for is donating his sperm, which at this point I would have to question if that's contaminated as well, because his mindset is pollution city. This is so dumb. I don't know why you're with this guy and you're still considering divorce, because maybe I would have been divorced right around the time that I would have ended up mowing the lawn as a pregnant woman, while this fool is sitting in the house talking about, oh, I might hurt my back. Sir, if you're going to act like a single 40-year-old man, you're going to live as a single 40-year-old man. I'm not dealing with your shit. Are you crazy? Yeah, so I don't even know why you had more kids by him 6 years ago, because at that time you were 34. I'm sure you knew good and well by then what kind of bum leech you married. I don't know why you decided to go through with that and have this fool's kids, because that would have been your ticket out, because your son was already old enough for you to bounce without having any strings attached. So I still got to put the onus on you. Yes, you have reason to feel good about yourself, as you should, because babe, you turned your life around physically. You made those physical steps for your body to improve. Now you need to make the mental steps to get your together, because this is stupid and it doesn't make any sense. I don't see why a woman of your age and your physical and mental capabilities should be with a bum like this. I don't see why this guy has access to you, and I can't imagine, so help me God, if you're still him. It ain't making no sense. But maybe I'm being a little bit too harsh. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe I'm a little slow. Maybe I'm a little delayed. I don't know, but y'all can let me know. What are your opinions on this situation? Why do y'all think it is that she's still considering divorce? What would you be considering it for? I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't get it, but maybe you can explain it to me. Also, clearly, no one even has to get into the fact that it's obvious this man is jealous, that she is in amazing physical condition. For a woman to be 40 years old and her body to be solid muscle, and her to be wearing clothes 2 sizes smaller than it was last year. This woman is not playing no games about her physical health and recovery. That is amazing. So don't even sell her short on that. But I still want to know what you all think about the situation, because it's questionable. I don't understand what she's getting out of remaining married to this man. It should have been annulled, because after 1 year and I would have realized he was a fool. I don't know. Maybe he showed her earlier than that, because I doubt they were married at 20 and 21. So if they got married, let's say 24, 25, and you would have realized by then that he wasn't trying to work on his physical health, yeah, babe, that marriage would have been annulled real quick. Because who married me? I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I never been married. I don't know who that is. I don't know what y'all are talking about, because that didn't happen. And if they say it legally didn't happen, babe, you know it didn't happen. Okay, so this last story is titled, I married my wife because I owed her family $100K. I didn't know what to make of this title. I have no clue what's in the contents of this story. So I am really excited to go ahead and get into this one, because I did, when I was scrolling down to see how long the story was, I did see the first comment, and the person was saying something about the OP may be sweet in a way. So I'm excited to see what this story entails. Let's get into it. I grew up in a neglectful family. I never knew who my father was, and my mother clearly never wanted a child and preferred having fun with so many new boyfriends and husbands. I honestly lost count. And I started befriending this awkward, shy, nervous girl, but who was also so nice and pure. We start by being acquaintances. A few days later, I walk into the cafeteria and see a girl spilling a carton of milk on her head with a bunch of other bullies tormenting her. I stepped in and yelled at them to stop, and they left. From then on, I began to spend most of my time with her. It was a win-win situation for both of us. I was her first and only friend. We used to sit together anytime we could. We ate together and hung out after school. She was no longer lonely, and the bullying with me around came down at least half, although it did not stop entirely. I had a peace of mind because I was stopping her from getting hurt, and she helped me escape the hellish emptiness of my house. I started to hang out at her place almost every afternoon to play video games, and at night I would have dinner with her family. It was the closest thing I had to having a loving family. Hanging out with her was also pretty fun, and her personality gradually started to come out. Her family warmly welcomed me, and I was almost instantly a part of their family, which is kind of insane when I think about it. They used to spoil me with gifts, even if I had a hard time accepting them. I cried the first time I had gifts on Christmas when I celebrated with them, because my mother never once offered me anything. As years went by, the bond between me and my wife only got stronger. I always was a support beam for her. At the time, I figured out that she was in love with me, but I didn't reciprocate because I only liked her, if you know what that feels like. I also didn't want to ruin our friendship and have her family stop treating me so well. In high school, the bullying fully stopped. She was much more confident and less awkward. She became really pretty. We were still very close, even if we naturally spent less time together, and she still went to me anytime she needed to vent about her issues. Her love for me only grew more with time, and things became a bit awkward at times, but it was nothing I couldn't handle. I made sure we didn't cross the line. However, this all changed when I was 17. I got my driver's license. Getting a car with insurance would cost a ton of money for an unsupported teen like me. My wife's mother bought me my first car. I didn't even ask for it. She just paid it as she paid for her daughters. It was a pretty damn good car too. I estimated around $40,000 in total. And then a few weeks later, it was time to apply for college. I didn't want to go mainly because of the student loan I would have to take, and also since I was not the best in studies, contrary to my wife who was gifted. Her mom decided to pay for my college tuition. I refused at first, but she insisted, saying I would also be there for her daughter since we went to the same college, even if I knew deep down it was simply an excuse. She just wanted the best for me and to have the chance to get an education. At that moment, I realized the only way I could pay her back, I owed her family around $100,000 at this point, was by taking care of their daughter. And that's what I did. I opened my heart to her. She was so happy, and her family and friends were too. She was the one who confessed her feelings first. She was the one who kissed me first. She was the one who initiated everything. She was the one who proposed. We've been married for 4 years now, together for 10. Our lives have settled. We moved in a beautiful place and are going to start trying for a baby soon. I still owe her mother for the money, but anytime I try to talk to her about paying her back, she brushes me off and tells me she considers me as her son and she won't accept a single cent I give her. Her words. The thing is, I like my wife and care for her, but she loves me so much and I don't know what to do about it. She doesn't know it, obviously. She deserves someone better than me who would love her with all his might, but she is too passionate to realize it. Our lives are perfect and I am so happy with her. I have never thought about cheating once. I'd honestly rather die than hurt her. To conclude, I'm an average looking dude with a low income job who is married to a drop dead gorgeous woman who has a PhD, an excellent job, who is loyal, loves me with all her heart, and wants to build a family and spend the rest of her life with me. If I could take it back, I would, because she deserves someone better than me in every single aspect. I just feel like she is wasting her life with me. I do not want to end the marriage because even if I think it would be better for her to find someone else, it would absolutely crush her and her family, and I do not want that. It would also destroy me in so many aspects. I do not want to think about it. Just wanted to get this off my chest. I'm not even sure if I'm looking for any answer, but I would appreciate any constructive comment. Thanks for reading. Well, I am sorely disappointed at the first comment that I did see that was saying that somehow this is sweet. This is all pretty disgusting to me, if I'm being quite honest. This kind of guy, like, yeah, he really cares for this girl and he feels a lot. He feels like he owes them for their kindness. The problem with this is he hasn't yet met the woman who sets his soul on fire. When he meets that woman, yeah, he doesn't want her. That's the last thing he wants to do right now because he has not met that woman. When he meets her, he's going to be in a ton of trouble. And not only that, if she ever meets a guy who's on her level, who stimulates her mind in a much deeper way, who is everything that she believes this guy to be, she's going to be taken with him. Not that she's necessarily going to just up and leave this guy, because I feel like she would also feel a lot of guilt to do something like that, but she's going to be emotionally torn. This is not what I would consider a genuine relationship whatsoever. This was just something that kind of happened out of circumstance and out of opportunity, and honestly, for him, I would have to say it's out of luck, if this is true, because as I was reading the story, I'm not going to lie, I was suspecting that this was not a true story, but either way, I'm sure there is more than one woman who has been in this kind of situation at some point. It's not uncommon, especially with us having different levels of social class and wealth within this country. It's not uncommon that there is that woman who is just swept away emotionally by a guy who is of less status than her. I do think that this is something that could easily crash and burn, because the problem is he has not found that deep love for her. In totality, they've been together for 10 years and he still just describes his affection for her as liking her. That's not good. When it comes to a guy and you're giving your body to him, you're trying for a kid with him, you're building this whole life around him, for him to just simply like you, that's concerning. And it's kind of sad to me that this girl is so emotionally driven towards this guy that she can't even see that. She was the first one to kiss him. She initiated everything that went down between them. She proposed to him. I wish I would. I wish I would. If I ever propose to a guy, I'm giving my mom full permission to slap the out of me, because propose? Who do you think you are? I wouldn't even propose to like my ultimate man crush. I don't care. I'm not doing that. Are you crazy? Either way, all I can say is I feel sorry for this girl, because honestly, I feel like she a little slow. She a little delayed. She just not really understanding what's going on, because any other woman could have read that this guy was not as interested in her as she was interested in him. Yes, her family gave him opportunities, but that by no means that he owes them. That was their fault. People are going to put money into investments and it's not always going to return. He was one of those investments that they should have just taken their L after the 40K that they invested in him and just, you know, chalked it up to a mistake. Or not even a mistake, they could have chalked it up to charity, because honestly, their family being so welcoming to him and willing to give him a chance and trying to help him get on his feet, that is sweet. That is so sweet. But that does not mean he owes your family anything in return. It doesn't. Even if y'all wanted him to owe y'all something, it could have been something as business transactional as him becoming a business owner, a multi-millionaire business owner, and him being able to help the family cut corners and save money on taxes or something like that. It could have been something like that. That he could have become a lawyer and he could have become the family representative lawyer. But he puts it in the frame that he owes her family $100,000. Sir, if you felt like you owed them that money, you would have given it to them. How did you go to college off of their money and you're working a low-income job? Like, what sense does that make? You didn't make with the opportunity that they gave you. This is stupid. And this girl being with him and her family supporting it is also stupid, because at the end of the day, I can assure you this is not going to end well. Whether she finds out later on that he doesn't really love her the way that she loves him, or they both find other partners that they find more satisfying overall, it's going to be a show at the end of it. And there's almost no one else to blame but her parents, because she was still relying on her parents ultimately to help guide her and help her see reality. So help me God, if my daughter ever makes a decision like that, well, good luck, Charlie. Alright, besties, that is all for tonight's video. I hope you all enjoyed it so much, because I really enjoyed reading these stories to you, even though the second one really me off. It off, but it got my brain going. It mentally stimulated me, and that's what I love the most, more than anything. I would love it even more if you guys shared your opinions below right after you like this video and subscribe to this channel, so that you can be notified the next time that I upload. Also, if you know of any Reddit stories that you would like me to read, my email is theteawithnomi@gmail.com, or you can follow me on TikTok and send me a link through there, which is also at theteawithnomi. Like I said, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.